This video is brought to you by John Robson Guitar Tuition. If you enjoy the content, please consider supporting the channel by enrolling on a course, purchasing some guitar lessons or a t-shirt, or you can join my Patreon. Now, on with the show. Hello chaps, welcome once again to John Robson Guitar Tuition. As always, I do hope you're well. What you just heard there was a little snippet from a solo that you're going to be hearing the full version of later on in the video. It's about 1.5 minutes long. And the thing is, that entire solo is all sort of based upon or extruded from or extrapolated from, there's a long word for a Sunday morning when I'm recording this, it's all taken basically from one lick idea that we start off from. The lick is one that I've just essentially borrowed from another solo, because you see, the thing is, people often say that the best way to learn to play lead guitar is to learn other people's solos and then leave it at that. And well, that's sort of true, but it's not the whole story, because what do you do with that somebody else's solo that you've just learned? Will it fit neatly into the song that you want to play a guitar solo over? Well, probably not. So it's all about what you do with the licks and phrases that you learn when you're figuring out or learning from tab someone else's solo. Here's what I mean.
Solo explanation.
Okay then, so the lick we're going to be looking at in this little exercise comes from this solo, Walk in My Shadow, played by Paul Kossoff. It's a song on the first free album, Tons of Sobs. Covered it on the channel a little while ago. And we're going to be taking a look at the very first lick in the solo and seeing what we can do with it. That's what it looks like written down. And this is what it looks like when you actually hear it. Okay, so the first thing we have to do is figure out what's actually going on in the riff, and that way we can, figure out what we can do with it. The lick goes like this. So it's fairly obvious what pattern it's coming from and what key you're in, but I'll just walk you through it anyway. In the original solo, it's played over a riff that goes like this. Etc. So we're kind of based around this G note here. And, it becomes apparent when you look at this lick that it's coming from a G minor pentatonic. So if you had a similar backing track to that, maybe you're playing a solo over the same song or, a similar song, then you could just recycle the lick, just play it as is. But what happens if you want to do it in a slightly different context? For instance, over the top of this chord sequence. Which is in the key of E minor. So what we've got here is a G minor pentatonic lick. Using pattern 1 of G minor pentatonic, we now need to move that down to E minor pentatonic. So that lick would now look like this down here. Okay, so we've moved it along the neck so it's in the right key for the new backing track, but that's still only, a fraction of what you need to do. You also need to make sure that you can phrase it over the new backing track, because, rhythmically, will it fit over the new context or won't it? Well, this is what you have to try out. You basically have to just play versions of the lick, where you're lengthening some notes and shortening them and, playing with the timing until you get something that feels comfortable and feels right for the context where you're going to play the lick. A little bit like this. Yes, indeed. As you can see, the shirt has changed since the last clip, and so has the guitar. You're going to see me unboxing this guitar tomorrow. What do you want to bet that the video where I'm taking a guitar out of a box gets a boatload more views than the video where I'm actually showing you how to play the guitar that you've taken out of the box. Anyway, such is life. Point is that once you've got that lick, you can do various things with it. Once you've got it in sort of a timing and a phrasing that sort of is in keeping with the backing track that you're playing over, you can start playing around with it. The most obvious thing that you can do is to change how the lick ends. So you could take that and then just change the last couple of notes. And then you've got like a perfect sort of rhyming couplet of question and answer phrases. Like that, the beginning of a new solo, pretty much. Then, maybe do another variation on it. And then sometimes, if you're lucky, or if you work at it, that little new ending becomes the basis of a new lick. So you could go... that kind of thing, where you're just taking that final part of the phrase and, repeating it, and just doing something else with it. And that can spark other ideas and take you off on a whole other tangent. Taking a fragment of a lick is just a great way of turning that lick into something else, so you could take like the beginning of it, that part, and go... like that, and then, maybe end that somehow differently, and then that ending will give you, an idea to kind of launch from that into something else. And, well, here's just a little one-take thing that I did when I'm just basically spontaneously doing all of the above. And as you can hear, once you get to that point, you've pretty much already got a credible sounding solo, just from one lick. But there's more you can do. When we go back to that initial lick that we took from the Paul Kossoff solo and then mangled so that it would fit rhythmically with the new backing track, here it is again. What is that lick made of? Well, it's made of some notes that are played in a particular rhythm. Well, let's just say, okay, we've milked those notes and variations on them for all we can get out of them. Let's do something with the rhythm now. And all we're going to do is take that rhythm of da, 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 and just fill it up, populate it with other notes from the appropriate scale, which in this case is E minor pentatonic. So you could have... or... or the possibilities are endless. You get the idea. Just using your whatever pentatonic scale, or if you're getting fancy about it, whatever mode you're using, to just repopulate that initial rhythm. And of course you can start working on the variations of it, so you might go like that, just changing the ending a little bit. That's always a good way to do it. If you change the ending and leave the beginning relatively unscathed, then it does give it that sort of question and answer sort of thing. So if I was to go... So, just changing the ending, it makes it more of a sort of a counterpoint. Is that the right word? It makes it more of an answer to the question that you're posing in the original lick. And here's another solo where I'm kind of doing all the stuff I mentioned earlier, plus some of this new stuff of playing around with, repopulating the rhythm. And that solo is tabbed out in full in both Guitar Pro and PDF formats, along with the jam track I was playing along to, and that clip that you've just seen there of me walking you through the whole sort of process of what to do with somebody else's lick that you've learned. All of that is up on my Patreon page. There's the address, and the link is, of course, down in the description. £2.50 or $3 a month, and you get access to all of these bits and pieces and extra resources that go along with these YouTube lessons that I do. I want to say a massive heartfelt thank you to everybody who supports me in that or any of the other ways, all of which are linked downstairs in the description. And that is pretty much it for today, folks. Hope you've enjoyed the video, found it useful, informative, and perhaps a little bit inspiring. And if that's the case, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell if you haven't already done so. And why not give me a like while you're at it? Don't forget the live stream on Friday, 5 PM UK time. We drink beer and talk music and guitars. What a fantastic way to kick off the weekend. I'd love to see you there if you can make it. But for now, I'll bid you all a good day and say thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your time. Look after yourselves, folks. Stay well, stay safe, and above all, stay sane. Bye for now.